And we're live on this beautiful Sunday evening. And the first thing I like to do usually on my lives is go and share the live stream on Facebook just so people know what we're up to. There we go. Well, we've got another treat for you all, and tonight we're just waiting on Wes should be joining us shortly. And we're going to be working on, let me get over to the YouTube here. We're working on a new story tonight, and this one is called Gitsatsamona. Yeah, that's the one. And you can find this on, sorry, I've got a, TikTok's telling me something I can't. No, it thinks I don't know what it thinks I'm doing. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to be working on, let's see, Gitsatsamona. This one here. Oh, I better turn on I have a little thing here, screen brush. Just when I think I'm ready to go, all of the 14 things I need to set up and turn on and shut off and so on and so forth. So if you go on you can find our YouTube channel for this project, Sweetgrass Stories, A 21st Century Perspective. And we're going to be working on this story tonight. I think it's this one, Gitsatsamona. This one here. We're slowly working our way through these stories. As a Monday night group, we have a group of learners. We get together and we do the transcriptions, which is just listening to the story piece by piece and writing down the words in Cree. And then Wes joins us on Sundays when he's able. And we're just waiting on Wes right now. Should be jumping on any time. But then we go through, and when we were doing this last time, we went through, and you can find this on our YouTube videos. He helped us work through how Sweetgrass became chief and gave us the story again in English in his own words. So we went through and listened to each piece bit by bit in Cree, and then Wes translated for himself, which is pretty amazing. I think TikTok said that it's not promoting my lives, so I'm just going to shut that off and turn it back on. And if it does it again, then so be it. There's nobody in there anyway, so that's fine. I see Gail, Tansi Gail, watching from Facebook. Yeah, so we'll let that run for a bit and see what happens. And I wonder if I get these little warnings on TikTok every once in a while about not having, I wonder if it's because I'm not using all of the bits and pieces that they want you to use or something. But no matter. There we go. Tanse.
Miosin.
How? Say, Kimatita no ay live stream, Facebook, TikTok, Mina.
My God.
Yeah, we're efficient over here.
Yeah. I thought you would be practicing your hip hop.
Yeah. I'm going to turn that down a tiny bit. There we
hip hopping to the Mitihti tune.
Something like that.
Keep reinforcing that word in your mind.
I'm going to make a slight Tiskwa, just bear with me 1 minute here. Ah, tanski wow, tansi takam ksi kanuts.
Oh, what have we been up to today? What have we been up to today? More on the trail of Yellowface for sure.
Mm.
And the genealogy for Fineday. And for instance, his father, who we didn't know the name of, was the translation is Gray Bear Sitting.
Huh.
And his mother was Pisusquil. Pisusquil, Link's woman, eh?
Huh.
Maga, just as a common name, they called her Munyasquil.
Ah.
So, we're unearthing all kinds of incredible material here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's amazing how it kind of spreads out and, connects to Ochis, for instance, which I had never heard of that. Like, as far as I had heard, Yellowface had gone to the States and then hooked up with a woman from one of those tribes up there. And then kind of lost track of him like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's all starting to come back.
Yeah.
And a lot of this, a lot of this information came from Joey Smallboy, who shared it with a white guy who wrote a book called Smallboy. I think, what's that guy's name? Botten?
Pardon?
What's the author's name of that Smallboy?
Gary Botting.
Gary Botten. Botten or
Botting.
Botting.
Hmm.
And we were just checking to see if that book is anywhere, and Jasper says there's copies online. But, it's like Mandelbaum's book, which for years never saw the light of day on the reservation. It was always out, in the mainstream for educated people to look at. And I'm just glad we had some of these people who had that interest and who were, guided to the connections that they were guided to. And that the people who had this information had the discernment to recognize that I can tell him, he will write it down, and then it will be somewhere.
Ah. Yeah.
And in the future, then our children can have an opportunity to find it. Yeah. So that we were doing that and then making Bannock.
Yeah. Gail on Facebook says, "Small boy camp." She says, "I have the book."
Tapwe. Yeah, because we have the oral histories, and then we're finding these other, there's still oral history, but they've been documented by people, eh? Yeah. And those are just such incredible stories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so we were making bannock and we were eating kakiwak, the kakiwak you brought one time.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Life is good.
Yes.
Oh, miasin. All right. Well, we're fired up anyway, so we'll get going here. I'm gonna if you're watching tonight from TikTok, I don't normally if you wouldn't mind sharing the live just to get it out there. TikTok says that they won't put our live on the For You page. They've got very restrictive policies these days. They kind of want you to just play video games and nothing else, it seems like. So, and we want to keep streaming on TikTok because we want to reach as many people as possible. But so if you can share the live, we'd appreciate that. So we can keep it on that platform for now. Let me share my screen with you, Wes, here, so you can see what we're doing. We'll get this shared up here. And then that one there. And then that should be coming through to you right now. Can you see my screen okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let me know, is this audio coming through for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So we're going to start on we finished off last time with how Sweetgrass became chief, which was amazing. We've had so much positive feedback from, you know, I'll have to say, you have a little bit of a following on the internet. Yeah.
I'll have to watch my back.
Yeah, something like that. So we're really excited to get into this story tonight. I'm going to make one more quick adjustment. This is another story that we captured from the first week of the first week out at Sweetgrass. The first week of recording, I believe it was in August last year. And so this story, I've entitled it Gita Samoana, but this is the Lady in the Lake story. So in our Monday group, we finished transcribing this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm very excited to get into this tonight. So yeah, whenever you're ready.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
My God.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Let's boot it, baby. Dun manigi wo yete imak pega. Igi papa muhtahet in northern Saskatchewan. Agaya. Library segi atasfot. Ek summa nagawi se puhti ahko magagi ksepa ja dun manek segi pe kape kosfunto. Okay, let's boot it, baby.
Aha.
Just
trying to get your oh, I lost it, that's why. Let's do this, then that, and then I lost your video for a sec there. I'm just trying to fix it. Floating window, is it that one? No. Sorry if you're tagging along, just give us a second as we correct our technical difficulties here. It's always a bit of a song and a dance to get Zoom to play along. Zoom meeting, that's the one. There we go. Now you're back. I'm gonna put you back over there. There we go. Okay.
Mam to nehtaman. Manasko. Atemuna kagi pesa sa puhta ko chekayas. I sometimes think about these stories that have been brought through from the past.
Brought through, yep.
Yeah. Tipia kepe tasihtamme, kepe pikskwe, teksepe sa sunamme. Some have been discussed, or some have been told and then discussed and then passed on. Yeah, sunamme.
Just need to put that in the right place. There we go.
Magamina chet. Kagi petahtagote chegoke. But also there were many who arrived here. Papskiuya sakngait anmonia sak. Agaya so. English people. Agayasiwak.
White people. Ngaituan. I will say. English people.
French people. and many other kinds, having come from various places.
Interesting.
They were controlled by their literacy.
Huh.
They regarded literacy, literacy was highly regarded by them. But they did not own it themselves, I will say. They did not have ownership of it. They did not have explicit ownership of it. Tipiyaw. Because if something was written, he would have to show it to someone. Someone who was more.
That makes sense.
Who had higher standing. And who had a great deal of understanding.
Interesting.
And primarily because that person would have spent more time within their educational systems. And these ones often were seen to be gatekeepers. Okanausquato could also be a goaltender in hockey, but a gatekeeper as a general.
How do you say goaltender again?
Okanausquato.
Cool.
That's a goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah. But in the context of, knowledge, he was a gatekeeper to the body of knowledge. And so that would have been restricted knowledge. That nothing would be allowed to slip by if it were not believed and not understood. It was there that they would stop it.
Wow.
And for those of us who were taught the use of this language and instructed as to its value,
As to the use of its value.
what standing does a speaker have? It was known when they were discussing certain topics.
Kiikoaien unstohtamunt, kiikoaien kiispinata, kikapm.
What level of understanding had they arrived at? Let's go back.
Kiikoaien unstohtamunt, kiikoaien kiispinata, kikapm.
And what had they earned that they could?
Kikapm papikskoata, kikapm tatasihta.
That they could discuss it and speak about it.
Mihtsä tuo?
Many times.
Utahkaa peitä kohteet.
When someone arrived here,
Ek tuoi sinu, mas näihin kaapi tahkuna.
that type of person who would come carrying a writing tablet, I guess you could say.
Mahti. Aatsi musta on.
Tell me a story. Here, tell me a story.
Nana tohki kaimaani kiipepaksei mutsego magigaatsi mustaatsi.
They used to come expecting all kinds of things to be discussed with them or to be told to them.
No mua johtikin kiihtää kekeettikö ei.
They probably did not realize
Haatihт kiikoja kahkiita sihteen.
there are some things that you may speak of
Te piahkauja kemiuitsevat.
as long as the person you are speaking to is a friend.
Emiua kohtojek.
Or you have good relationships.
Kikap mua viitsihtojego maatsi muun sahohtse.
That you help each other by sharing these stories.
Kikatahtehtamek. Eikä jossain kikam.
To help you relax or to help you achieve peace of mind, you could say. Kikatahtehtaman.
Cool.
Eikä jossain kikam kuskaa tehtämekki vai kikapahkiek.
So that you would not be too overburdened with worries and you would have an opportunity to laugh.
Maagamina haiwaage ieti takihteke maana tehtohe.
But of these things, there were some that had greater value.
Metto nepogo uyasewo na hegipn sahame kispin.
And these the laws regarding these had to be strictly adhered to.
Metto nikaki chache mo na ho hepe pakusei muin.
These are the most sacred of stories that you have come seeking. The most powerful stories. The most sacred, powerful stories that you come seeking.
Well, yeah, we only want the good ones.
Wait. Let me tell you this one.
Yeah. Tsisko, tansi sigasutsek angiga, tsigi asliwachi gawigitsek. Tansi sigasutsek. And for our viewers, you have to go back to YouTube to find that one. Yeah. Try to keep this a clean live stream tonight.
Namoy kunto. Kagipe
It was not
mahmostin
for
to
nothing. It was not for nothing that you could come seeking or asking.
Is that word mustintuttaman? Mustintuttaman.
Yeah. It's like simply asking for something without reciprocity,
Ah.
which was frowned upon, eh?
Oh, interesting. So it's almost like you come with nothing almost.
Yeah. And you expect me to share very sacred things with you? Epe mustinto tamay. You come simply asking, or you come begging without reciprocity, you know?
Yep. That's cool.
Usamma na mihtse to
Ohtsi-
taha pohpokogagi peta kohta hehtooma. Tunma no genenigi hunanak pitama egi otnamoa tsek miitsuna. Nana tohki koikagia patsihta itoma eukumane egi mia tsikoma kapi tohteit kapia jaha tsemosta go jahoma. Transcribe that.
I got to come back to it now. It's too fast. I wasn't writing it down. I said, well, you talked about, I cut the part about feeding people, and then there was something else in there.
Yeah. Well, anytime our parents used to invite these old people over to come and share stories and teachings, they would always ensure that they would buy these knowledge keepers groceries and other things that they could use in their daily lives. Eh? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Ohtsi taupuko maana. Taptoki koigi peki kik.
And it was usually the practice that when someone approached, that they would be bringing something along with them.
We are sure ne pepin sahame.
For they
Tanso-
were following the laws.
Tanso me peisna chiusta me komakikwe.
How do you approach? How do you approach things?
Mina katakohteiden squatte me kekte.
And
Ite-
also, when you arrived at the doorway,
Ite he kanawai chikatek.
where these are kept,
Ai wak ki koi ep mi se mamahtawa.
and things of even greater spiritual significance.
Na moi kehti nakatats katau na magosin. Kispin
It is not necessarily it is not necessary that we open up to these types of people.
Na moites ko kita kohtaan te hoi stamon koma.
For you have not yet arrived at the place of preparation.
Kika tau na mago sin kika nan tohtamo pina pohti gains tohtamane.
To have the way cleared for you to come and listen, or if you did not understand,
Ei tehtämän mahting nikan tau ko te maawawa.
you might think that perhaps I should go and challenge this one.
Eks kehtämaasot maan ei teht.
They say he is a knowledge keeper.
Mahti hauina. Kisaago tehtiget pikskounek tehkis.
And for it to be known who is the most effective speaker in the use of the language.
Samana. Eksi sigi ko jau jakka pe mauneska getta pue.
Because at times when people come forward in a confrontational or challenging manner,
Mihtse toona muins tohtamaisiin o ep miise mamahtawa ep miise kakasseni kooma tapuewin.
for many people do not understand the sanctity, sacredness, and the sharpness of the truth.
Sanctity, sacredness, and I don't know if I spelled sanctity right. I guess we'll come back to that.
Kispin na moi givoisten.
If you are not prepared,
Kispin na moi kita kohtaan eta homma.
if you have not yet arrived,
Metone kika natamasoin.
to be able to thoroughly protect yourself, defend yourself.
Kika natamasoin kika kamo tapin.
To defend yourself, you should sit quietly.
Metone kahki uisa katauhkun.
For the truth can be a very painful thing. Cause lots of damage.
Be very painful or cause lots of. Would that be like emotionally, or could?
Yeah, it will hurt you. And usually, I mean, at an intellectual, in an intellectual contest, damage could be emotional, but emotions feed the soul. And if you're knocked off kilter emotionally, that has an impact on your soul, your spiritual. Yeah, it can upset that spirit. Yes.
Okay.
Ohi piksko na kahki mamas katauhkun.
These types of words can cripple you. Kahkimamas katahokon.
Yeah, interesting.
Ton sooskuats kahkina kinikon.
They can bring you to a complete stop, so that never again.
Eikä tom. Eksikin kapeisi waskauja noma.
That you should never approach in that manner.
Wawi se tahki ko ei mahtawa.
Especially concerning areas of the sacred.
Eikä minä ei tahtas skamagi kispinawi jakkiwi.
And do not interrupt or interfere if someone
Kiwi ka koe wiitse hego makikap na chiustaman nisto tamoin.
if someone is prepared to help you to approach a level of understanding.
Eikä kun tekta tahtas skamagi ka koe wana hewe.
Do not interfere or try to distract in situations like that. Do not interfere or be a distraction.
That word, let me listen to it again.
Eikä kun tekta tahtas skamagi ka koe wana hewe.
Tahtaskamskamage is to take a shortcut.
Can you say it again?
Tahtaskamskamage.
Tahtaskamskamage.
Yeah. And that's to, it's like jumping to conclusions without having processed the potential meanings given the context of the use of that word. Puhutsingan hiwan.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll come back to that one.
Peahtik ape. Kama tape. Nitohta.
Sit peacefully. Sit gently, sit peacefully, and listen.
Don Omiyasu says, this is powerful. This is a regular Sunday night, no. Just come hang out. Yeah, no, this is powerful. Tapway, I agree. This is the part of this that's so amazing for me is as a learner and as a group we worked on this story together and found all the words. That's how come all these ones are blue over here, because we typed all this out and figured out all of those bits. But then we debate. We're like, well, what does this mean? Does it mean this? Does it mean that? But then to sit down with Wes and have Wes to have your words in Cree and your words in English is just, it's really, I think it's incredible. Honestly, this is pretty amazing stuff. So I second that. This is powerful.
Kiwiche then.
Aha.
Tough way.
Yeah, we'll go for maybe a few more minutes, and then we'll just give you a little bit of a break as we approach the halfway point here. We'll do a couple more, and then we'll just have a little quick break.
Try to remember what it is that you have had
I'll just start back there.
Kiwa jo magapm paktinamago sino ma kikapehtaman.
that you have been allowed to hear.
Kwa namoyekta se ma kikau chinsto tin.
And also, you will not achieve immediate understanding.
Ahpo kikau nennesto tamoin.
Or you may pick up understanding.
Tamama nakahki to me ginto ka mota pehke ginto mamam to nehche kehke ginto ka gisimo.
It used to be time after time that one would go and sit and meditate and pray, trying to... Okay, play that last part again.
Tamama nakahki to me ginto ka mota pehke ginto mamam to nehche kehke ginto ka gisimo.
It was many times repeatedly that one would go and sit in silence and meditate and pray.
Mahti ka tayo kanoyek kitimagi tawek.
Mahtika tayo kanayek. And those of you who are spirits, listen to me with compassion.
Tonita ho magap na nagasenian ka magakwensto tamano mamaga.
At this point in time and place where I have come to a standstill in my effort to achieve understanding.
Wow. Nagansinian. Kap Nagansinian. Kapin stotamanum maga.
Blockaded.
Yeah.
Namo ekskehtaman tan segikap mai suoskau ya no muuta kikap papi koiso ya.
And here, where I do not understand how to free myself, or what kind of activities I must employ in order to free myself.
Pahpauwe penamawik nisto pahtamasoin nisto tamoin.
Sprinkle upon me the ability to see clearly. And what was the other one?
Stotamun.
Oh, and understand.
Kagi mai tueh mana kap mamsito taht.
As it used to be said when we were relying on
Mahtawa puwa tayohkan.
these who sit in sacred places, these spirits who sit in sacred places.
I love all the different ways you can say some of those words sometimes like that. Mama tawapu. It's just, it's powerful. That was Gagi. Okay. Let's do, we'll do five more minutes and then we'll have a little break.
Mihse to.
So hopefully you don't have to pee too bad.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't worry, I already did.
Mihse to.
Many times they will arrive. Many times they will come to you.
Kapetagohtak.
Oh, kape, not gape, kape.
Kapetagohtak, they will come to you.
Kapeta kohtaak. Kinpaune.
in your sleep.
Eukö maana.
Eogumana.
These are the ones.
Okay.
Pavaakan. Kaite.
Dreaming helpers, they are called.
Dreaming helpers.
Pawakanak.
Kape
Helpers from the
saapus.
dreaming time.
Kape saapus tohteeto maita kinpaune. Kape kakiukask.
When they come through and into your sleep to come and visit you.
Maakakaati wainit.
But when they are on their way back,
Asamina. Uyatika koe kiwe uiche kuuma.
again, what they have shared will try to go back with them.
Ah. I'm pretty sure we talked about this for a long time, this one.
Opikskwevin. On stohtamoin.
Their speech and their understanding.
Eikö hata. Eikä koe mamio tauna maagosia.
And although there are attempts being made to open positive possibilities for us,
Tounamagusiak, yeah.
Tanssimaagi eikö huutahki kappamamtse mehtämahkooma.
how is it then that we can hold those thoughts in the moment now
Wow.
from the dreaming time?
Ah.
How do we anchor those thoughts now? Here, where we are.
How do we... Oh, yeah. Let me do that.
I mean, that's just a clarification. Yeah.
Hold on to or anchor those thoughts in the moment now from the dreaming time.
Yes, exactly.
Kapeisua pahti kuusia.
I knew that's what you meant to say. That's why I wrote it down.
Kapeisua pahti kuusia.
These
Kapeisuittamaa
things which
kuusia.
we have been shown and the things that we have been told.
Let's do one more here.
Atsikutsankin kaatsemustaatan. Peakaatsemuin.
Just let me share one story with you.
Hutehigi tohtianom.
I went to this place one time.
Now that we're getting into the story, what we'll do is we'll take a little break there.
Leave them hanging.
Oh, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just... if you want to take a really quick break, we'll call it 7.5 minutes. We'll hang out and I'll go through and see if I missed any comments. If you have any questions you want to leave, oh yeah, Neil says a cliffhanger. Go ahead and take a break there, Wes. We'll be here when you get back.
All right.
All right.
You want to listen to their comments or
Yeah.
can you hear them?
I will.
Or you'd rather not.
I'm just gonna kill Wes's audio.
Well,
so
I'm
they
going to
can...
have a smoke is what I'm going to do.
All right. So we'll. If you have any questions, oh yes, we're getting all of the cliffhanger comments now. Tapwe mia sinoma. That's right. Tapwe mia sin. Muskwa says, thank you for doing this incredible work. Neil Redcrow says, cliffhanger. Yeah. So I think I might step away too for just 2 minutes here real quick. I had a little bit too much tea right before my live. We are going to be back in about 5 minutes. If you have any questions that you want to leave for Wes, and what I'm going to do is we're on number 67 here, about 8 minutes in. So what I'll actually do is while I step away, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the story and let it play through, just so that it's not sitting there doing nothing. And this is an exercise I like to do as I work on the stories, or I always tell learners, when we transcribe these stories, go back and listen to it again and let some of that language and some of that understanding sink in. I'm just gonna, there. TikTok will get mad about certain things, so I'm gonna let this play for a minute, and I will be right back, and we'll pick this up in about 6 minutes.
Asigut sangiga timustaten. Berga timuin. Hute higi tohtianom. Nehi pot nachte geisi. Kopel väl imana gaisika tahke goge muniavak. Ekte sa gaikana mane papmskage. Sipissa sa gaikana. Mage kute piago gi tohtiano megin to kitotagi go maisinoak. Uskana kasastegi kaita mahmanan muuteno. Misuteno. Mihtse taisinoak. Ektehän megi peta kohteetoa. Eginan tohta muupt. Uksknoha maageuskuo. Egi se piikskuoak. Ento ajaste sen jääkatio. Ento mamitsoja. Kapeta kohteet tekota. Mutta hommoi vaihausaakaihan ehknuttek. Egi ataoja huaskaihans. Sonesi pihk. Että mano magani pihk. Kikan toaja. Kikan nakatamako muutena. Samstahe. Tänä tohki kai mano tahitahkam kan muika maatsi. Kia vaisino. No muiki kagima mio maamto nehtame. Iko nana tohki kai ihtako. Kikap moman aihkoin. Kikap moman simkoin. Maaka. Ektehän masagaihan ehksone hegin toa taujaako. No ikke maaga no askaihan stom. Tänne vetnä ektehän toa manom. Kikan toa stationia. Minne.
I meant to start that back at the beginning, but that's okay. Wes is going to be a few minutes. Oh, Wes is back here. Let me turn everything back on. Well, we took a break one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, let me get back. I see Max Fineday is joined. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some, Muskwa says, thank you for doing this. Incredible work. Yeah. Crystal Cree, Mia Sinoma. So, yeah, let's get into the story here. It's a quicker break than I anticipated, but that's fine.
Well, I can have another smoke with you.
All right. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay. I got to back up a tiny little bit. There we go.
Towards, it would be Payapot, Nehiopotnach. The Cree.
Nehiopotnak.
Yeah, Nehiopotnach.
Kopel Valley managaisika tahkekoke muniawak.
Capel Valley, the white people call it.
Yeah.
Ekte saagaihkana mane papmskagi. Sipissa saagaihkana.
And in that area, there are lakes and rivers.
Is that Papam or Pimsk? Papam
Yeah,
Pimskag.
That flow through the area.
Ah.
Papimskagi.
Papam Pimskag. I wondered. I thought I heard that. Pimskag. Nope. Like that. Pimskag. There we go.
Mage kute pia go gito te ano me ginto kito tagi go mai sinoak.
But I went there at one time to go and speak to some people.
This is a word that actually came up in our conversation the other day. Eginto gitotagik. That gitoteo, like, is that, it seems like, is that something that you hear commonly, or does it feel like it's an older way to say that? Because nowadays I would say like nepigskwaatao or something.
Yeah, Eginto Kitutagik would be a more formal interpretation.
So if you didn't know them, know them well or something, then that would be, it's like is that actually a different way of speaking to them almost? Like it's just you would speak more like you don't know them, or?
Not necessarily. Either of those words would fit.
Okay.
Eginto Pikskwatagik, I went to speak with them. Yeah, or Eginto Kitutagik.
Okay.
It's just different.
Different ways of saying it.
And from different time frames, eh?
Okay.
Like the Eginto Kitutagik would be a more formal, in more formal situations. As Endo Pikskwatagik it might be just a group of your friends that you went to visit.
Ah, okay.
But Eginto Kitutagik might be a group of people that you went to discuss specific things with.
Hazel asks, like to address them. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Uskana kasastegi kaita mahmanan muteno.
Where the bones are piled, we call that town. We call that city.
Which is the Cree name for what we call Regina, if for anybody that doesn't know that, is not familiar with that phrase. Uskanaga sastegi.
Misuteno.
A big city.
Mi chetai sinoak.
There are many people.
Ektehan megi peta kohteto. Eginan tohta mopt.
Ekute hawe egi peta kohteto egi nantohta mopt. It was there that this one arrived and came to listen.
Yeah, Neil says, we talked about that word the other night. Yeah, that's that word gitoteo. That's why I asked Wes about that, because we were discussing it the other night. Like, why is that word different?
A woman teacher.
My TikTok puzzle.
Egi speak squawk.
After I finished speaking,
Ento Ajasteisen jääkätio. Into mamitsoja.
We want to have a break and have something to eat.
Oh, that last one was after I finished speaking or after we finished speaking?
After I finished speaking. After I had finished speaking.
Ah, okay.
Kapita kohti tekota.
That's after the. Let me play that previous part first.
Into ajasteisen jääkätio. Into mamitsoja. Kapita kohti tekota.
When she arrived after we had eaten.
Ah,
She arrived there.
okay. Ah, that's interesting.
Mutta hommoi vaan jousagai kanehkentek.
There's a lake not far away, she said to me.
Mutta Egia tauja huaskaihans. Sone siipih.
We bought a cabin beside the lake.
Että mano magani peh. Kiganto aia.
Where we could go in the summer, where we could go and stay.
Kigan nagatamako mutena.
When we want to leave the city.
Samstahi. Nana tohki kai mano tahi tahkam gan mui.
There are too many things that happen here that are not
Mui ka mochi. Kia ya wai sino. Na mui
not peaceful. And people cannot relax.
Kia ya wai sino. Na mui kagima mio mam to nehtame.
Not a place where you can sit and meditate.
Iko nana tohki kai tako kikap mo manai koin.
There are so many things there that can be distractions.
Kikap mo man sim koin.
That will cause you to lose your way.
Carla says bloop bloop kigwai tutaman. Was it which frame was that from, Carla? Was that something that we just covered? You can see the numbers by the side here. Let me know which frame it was. Oh no. Are you just asking me kigwai tutaman? Oh, what are we doing? What am I doing? Wes is translating for us. Yeah.
Maka. Eptehan masagay kanik sone hegin tawa tawa ako.
And it was at that place that we went to buy this.
No ikamaga no askay kan stom the newit na kekte kan tawa ya akmanom.
My partner and I bought a little house where we could go and relax.
So, Carla, are you in our Monday night group as well? I think so. I don't know if I have the same. People's names aren't the same on all platforms, so I'm trying to keep track of. So we do. This is a story that we finished transcribing. Oh, I think we finished this last week. Oh, okay, no, different Carla then. All right. So for anybody that's tuning in, we transcribe these stories on usually on our own Mondays, sometimes a couple nights a week. There's learners that sit down and we go through and we write out the Cree and figure out all the words. And then Wes has blessed us with his presence to go through and help us get the correct interpretation of these. So that's what we're up to tonight.
Giganto ay station ya.
Where we can go and relax.
Okay.
Minek ten to asem sinanak kispin no te nakatako wisto aoma.
And that's a place for our children if they also want to leave this city.
Ka isip gagisque magakma naka misi gagisque magakma no mutena.
Of all the crazy things that happen in this town or in this city, yeah.
I missed something at the end of that. Just let me do it one more time.
Ka isip gagisque magakma naka misi gagisque magakma no mutena.
Uma utina. Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Ekta kahki peksata magvistava.
They can also come and stay there.
Magam to name johtaa tano magaisi piksventek.
But I really appreciate the things that you speak of.
She told me.
Mm-hmm.
Aton chika te pehte no mekte kapeisi uitseu yakum.
Would you be willing to come out to that place with us?
Nigapam no asonan. Kikamitso no.
We will cook and we will eat.
Eikö? Innohti mam siitä taataan.
And also, I would like to ask you
Zachary, is there a way to join or help out with the Monday nights? I'd love to learn more. Zachary, you can shoot me a message. Boy, you're coming in on YouTube, so that's tricky. You can find me on Facebook, Aaron James Fay. Leave a comment on this live. Well, no, you have already, so that's fine. I think we can message each other through YouTube, so try and send me a message or leave a comment there. I can find you. But the best way to get a hold of me is on Facebook, and we'll just add you into the Monday night group, and you can just join us there. We just have a Facebook group that we have going.
that if you could come and pray there or do ceremony there, I guess you could say. To come and pray for us.
Mahtikiam kikanoi tamago siya komita ka matao ya komaka.
We ask that this place which we have purchased be protected. We pray for protection for this place that we have purchased.
For this place to be purchased. Okay. Danse nimes kaya saspin. Miasen itago sinian.
Kaui maya pachihta ya miono te keise aste sinone.
That we plan to use in a good way for rest and relaxation.
Na natau hone koma.
for healing.
Mam to nehtiga nohti. Minä muu se
Of
hon.
our minds, of our minds and of our emotions.
Na hehtamuin.
Satisfaction, satisfaction.
Nahe tamuin. Interesting. That's a cool word.
Yeah.
Ekte kikapm. Wow, te nahkai sino kikapm papasigu maganik epim mamioasek mam to nehtigan.
For that to be available there for people who come. Let's listen to that again.
Sure.
Ekte kikapm. Wow, te nahkai sino kikapm papasigu maganik epim mamioasek mam to nehtigan.
To be available there for people who come to awaken positive thoughts and understanding.
Epim papihtaak.
For this is wholesome. Epihtak.
Se what this tema oigi pemi.
And she also brought me tobacco.
Sing yuten maohan heut stema.
And so I accepted her tobacco.
I had a red mark on that one because I didn't quite understand that word. Nigio din.
Utinimawa. You see, utina, take this.
Yeah.
Ewa, I take it. Niki utinimawa. That's past tense, eh? So I had accepted her tobacco.
Oh. Oh, okay. I think I know what that is. Yep, that makes sense. The relational. Okay.
Tapoingi tau ni kan tau tago tanek te homagisa kam sia no mut.
Yes, I replied to her, I will arrive there after I am done here.
Eksane yagisa kam sia nek te hanma hema mo pai ko mags to homagiwak.
And so when I was finished there, where there was a gathering of educators,
I think I know what that is, Neil. I just I don't know if it's in that particular form of that word where you said Nagiot Namwawa. It's like because it's not you took the other person's tobacco, and so I don't think it's in Ndwewan. I'll have to go look for it. Yeah. But that's one of those ones, every once in a while a word pops out that we're not. Like we know the word otana means to take something, but that particular form, it's just not, we don't hear it very often because it was somebody else's tobacco. Yeah.
And it was in the past.
Yes.
Niki utinimawa. So I had accepted her tobacco.
Otinimau. Yes, otinimau. Just let me. That's a good distinction too. Otinimau. Yeah. Shar says, who's the man speaking Cree? This is Wes Fineday from Sweetgrass that has joined us this fine evening to speak to us from the past and also speak to us in the present.
There were many topics of discussion there.
Mistä hemanegi mamikuska tehtami kotautaan saa ei saa ja tawane hiomu.
there was often concern about what is the problem with these Indians.
Tansa o isa ya tawa nehi o mui kakaski tato magikapim sa sapo tito magkiksno hamato gamuna.
What is the problem with these Indians who are unable to graduate from these institutions of learning?
Tansa ito ko isa ya te ikaigaginansto ta.
What can be their problem that they cannot understand?
Tapskus vana nehi o hegi eta me magic.
It almost seemed as if they were blaming the Indians for this situation.
Attamematsik.
Mui mian magaisiks.
Yeah, igi attamematsik.
Mui mian magaisiks no hamagichik.
Not examining their teaching methodologies.
Their teaching. Ah, that makes sense.
Na mui o go nanto e o ti tehta kik tapskuts.
They did not seem to give much thought to that, as if
Metone ko eski sihti geodum.
as if their way was the proper way.
Their method of doing things almost?
Yeah. That their method of doing things was the correct way.
Yeah.
Tane ke sihta tekta gigapihti nehio.
Why is it that indigenous people are unable to enter?
Gigap mouten geto ma. Giguai. Kaut na kikta gigo pap me machi hot.
To be able to take from that place the things that they would require in order to have a good life.
I almost typed a good lice.
A well-behaved louse.
I was feeling a little, yeah.
Pogite.
All over.
Maga munia na te ke so sampogo.
But it was geared more towards the white mentality.
Ah, thanks for stopping in, Carla. Carla says, happy transcribing. I really must run. Geez, now I'll leave here with an itchy scalp, she says. Moyochito, moyochito. Yeah.
Tapskuts ki katau na magus kispin esapuhteet kislahamato gamgo kikuta.
It was as if they would have the way open for them if they were able to make it through that system of learning.
Atoskewin e pehkut. Na nato katoskewin.
Work would be waiting for them, all types of employment.
Neil says, got me scratching my head too. This live went off on everybody's like, oh shit. Yeah. Just, yeah.
Kikapngaks na hamagi check kikap mamaski kiwi no check kikap.
That they would be teaching about healers or medicine.
Let me play the rest of that.
Kiwi no check kikap mamaski kiwi squew check.
Ah, okay, to become doctors and nurses.
To become
the things they would be learning would enable them to become doctors and nurses, I think. Would be a good.
You didn't mean to become teachers as well in the beginning, or just doctors and nurses?
Kikapngaks na hamagi.
The things that they were teaching.
That they were teaching to become doctors and nurses.
Right.
My mistake. I misunderstood that. I'll just play it one more time and make sure I've got it right there.
Kikapngaks na hamagi check kikap mamaski kiwi no check kikap mamaski kiwi squew check. Hita mista he. Kikap mawutin ge kuma.
And there was a possibility to achieve or acquire a great deal. With which to make a living and earn money.
But
if you have not passed through, yeah.
Ito naman namagi ko eh. Kito speite takosin.
You were thought to be worth nothing.
Namananto ita patsi.
Not of any use.
Kusima nagapapam to naman na tuske wena pom don manigi.
And so it was when you went looking for work.
Manigi ka kipuasta chego iskwate mahata.
You would have doors slammed in your face.
Negi.
That'd be that. So, egiga kipwahasta chik. Is that like just have doors slammed on you, basically?
Yeah. Doors closed on you.
Yeah.
Well, I thought this was something I was doing.
I'm just keeping notes on some of those, so I can put a little mark on when they're read like that. I can leave a little note on there just to help, because lots of these words sometimes aren't even in the dictionary, so we can just keep track of what it was that you were saying.
And eki kakipohasta chik, the doors would remain closed, would be another. Yeah.
Okay.
When they were looking for someone to go and work,
Magmuigex muiktuhkas kiitangex nohamasoin.
But you were not able to, you were not successful in learning.
Meidän tountunaatoskin. No
Look
mujutakin
for work
tointuna.
somewhere else. We do not want you here.
Mäkä tapujan me tuu taksigadba.
But truly, towards the evening of that day,
Ek tehni tuhtaa noma.
I went over to that place.
Paskau saagai kan kai sihkaa teeganma.
Pasqua Lake, it is called.
Eikö hei vihtamau tsiguma tanssikin kaisi mamskamaan miit.
For they had given me directions of how to find that place.
Kauiktsek. Suotsen sehke paim naannika nakata naansune meskana gigan stonaman. Gigan stone
Where they lived. And we will leave our vehicle by the road so you will recognize it and know where we live.
Nina says, I'm curious to know what you are working on so I can read it all later. I don't want to miss this. Nina, if you end up on, you can click on the link in my bio and it'll bring you to my link tree.
I'll have a quick break here.
Yeah, go ahead and have a break.
Be right back. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll just shut Wes off there for a second. You can go to the link in my bio on Facebook or TikTok, and no, it's the microphone cable. That's why I must have bumped the mic. Sorry about that. I need to change that cable out. Apologies for that. What I was saying was, if you go to the link in my bio on either Facebook or TikTok, you can find my link tree, and from there you can find these stories on. We have a separate YouTube channel, Sweetgrass Stories: A 21st Century Perspective, where we've got a whole whack of these stories and uploading more all the time from Wes. We spent 4 weeks with Wes so far last fall recording stories, and then if you can go back and watch this live on my YouTube channel, Otepemsu on YouTube. All of these live streams are recorded on YouTube, and you can go check those out if you miss a live stream or you want to go back and watch previous live streams. And so we have a Monday night group where we sit and oops, not there. We go through and do the transcription, which is we write out all of the Cree, painstakingly write out all of the Cree words, and then was actually one Wednesday afternoon about well, how long ago would that have been? I can't even remember. A couple months ago, when Wes phoned me up and he says, "I've been watching your podcast," he calls it. And he said, I'd better come on there and make sure. I think he'd seen us struggling to try and interpret what was being said. He said, I better come on there and make sure you're getting the right interpretations. And so Wes has blessed us almost every Sunday since then, and is now doing real-time translations of his own stories for us. And I imagine someday down the road, this will be potentially some kind of maybe a book or something. We'll have to see what happens. But Wes has told us several times now that this information, these stories and these teachings, it's really important that they get out to the people right now. Now is the time. And so that's the work that we're doing. And there's even more work going on behind the scenes. Wes and others are busy out at Sweetgrass right now going through various stories. We'll be busy going through old collections and books and all kinds of stuff over the summer. And we still have some funding left over from the project, so we will have, I think, probably 3 more visits and opportunities to capture more stories this summer. I think we've got one coming up in potentially in June. We're still planning out the date on the next one. But 3 more visits. So I think I have altogether over, if I had to guess, I have somewhere between 25 to 30 hours of Cree stories at this point. And again, we've got a good chunk of those on the YouTube channel. You can find it here, Sweetgrass Stories, a 21st Century Perspective. And you can go find those on that YouTube channel. There's some short stories. There's some funny stories. There's a prayer. This is a really great one here where Wes shared a prayer with us in the language for folks. On the last day of the first week, I said to Wes, people ask us, or he said to me, people come to me all the time and they're usually like, oh, can you teach us how to, can you teach me how to pray in the language? So I said to Wes, well, is there a prayer with us for people who were interested in learning? And so he shared that one with us. So Vince has a question. Go ahead. Yeah. What other good stuff's in here? You can find my website in there, kiano.net. Some of our tooling, and also you can find Bloomfield Online is another interesting collection, which you could find under the Learner Library under my website, kiano.net. Vince says, how would you translate Sacred Treasured Children? I don't do translations because I'm just a language learner. I'm sure there's a way you could say something similar to that. Sacred children or sacred treasured children. I would go to a fluent speaker, though, and get that. Get that translation so it was specific to what you were looking for. Yeah. Yeah, and if you're just hanging out with us and you are a language learner, we meet every Monday, usually once or twice a week, and we work on these stories ahead of time so that we can stay ahead of Wes and just allow him to do the translations. We had a few Sundays there where we would do the transcription at the same time, and it was moving pretty slow, so we're trying to stay ahead of the game. Neil says, to answer your question there, Vince, ikanata tsakwe tik awasasak. Neil is saying they are pure-spirited children. I hear elders say this all the time. Let me see if I can. Kanata tsakwe tik awasasak. They have clean or pure spirits. That's a cool phrase. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're just hanging out and you're not already in our Monday group and you're interested in joining, you can shoot me a message on Facebook or TikTok for that matter. And we can get you in there. Yeah. So we're coming up at about 6:45. We'll go for maybe another 10-15 minutes as soon as Wes gets back. We're doing pretty good. That's about on par. Covered about... Okay, let me get you turned back on here. There he is. All right, you're live on the internet once again.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I think, yeah, we got about 10 more minutes here, so let's do a little bit more before we shut things down.
Kun saan matapoi, hekteengis painnikin tomskauhana.
And so it was that I went over there and I went and found them.
Sekin paissonemes kanahki nagatit.
I saw the vehicle sitting by the side of the road.
Hektahan megi egi nagian.
And it was there that I stopped.
Ego hep nani choe sagekta.
And there was a trail going downwards from there.
Eipna nitsoe sag.
Nihtachiwe sak.
Nihtatsue.
Chak.
Ah,
Nihtachiwe chak. Going downhill.
ah. Okay.
Tunne te chapasis.
And
Egi
there at the
maaste
bottom,
kuaskaihan.
there was a little house, or there was a house.
Ego mettone suuskaatso tessone siipi.
And it was right beside the lake.
Samo mita hoi vita skeu naho magasteeki hohe.
Because in the place where these outside stairs were,
Kat nihta choin suuskaats kat pahkopein.
you could walk down the stairs and step into the water.
We really struggled with some of these words. We're like, oh, I think we know. It sounds like a trail. It sounds like a this.
Ego chiikin epi kegiasteeki hän.
It was so close to the house, or it was so close to the water.
Magekta minna kota kuaskaihans.
But there was another
Yes,
little
Dick.
house there that was there.
Ekta hetsikummaano se heka noihtaaki koma.
And this was where they kept their boat.
Eksaan mangi miiviitsi hewaane ekta hamtonegi pamnoasso tsekmtonegi mamio ahtsikia koma.
And so I was a part of that when they were cooking, and we had a very good meal.
Aigi se mamitso jahkeilu.
And when we had finished eating,
Antajaatse monan.
we sat and told stories.
Eikä metone ja tuutaukse koma.
And when it was in the evening,
Mahti pitämään eikä tauk.
and now for a moment I said to them,
Kagi pento miego magape kagi simoyano tahoma.
that for which you requested my presence here to come and do ceremony,
Kakanoihtaa kuahko magit
for
Kiwa
this
sky.
place to be protected, for the protection of this your house.
Kanoa. Nikan tomia kasigan.
I will go and smudge.
Nigawa sa kami tan miya kasigan. Ikuto.
I will take the smudge around.
Wasaga mate naga wasaga mate dan.
Yeah, I will take it around.
Yeah. Oops.
Ikuto ano akut. Minna pihtsai.
Of your hearth and home, and also inside.
Missä we?
All
Eikä
over.
mamia kasi.
I will smudge this. All over I will smudge.
Kikapam gagi sa musta matinawa.
And I will
Kiawa.
pray for you.
Minna
You.
All of you, would you say?
Just you at the moment. It
okay.
may, yeah, on the next part.
minna kitiwa simsiwa wakkiwa
And also
kumagano.
your children, your relations.
Wakki wichewa ganwa wakki.
And your friends.
Kispinote ento mai gok.
If you have invited them here.
Miote kikap moche pasigun kate miote hatigi weto.
That they will be blessed with a good heart, and they take a good heart with them when they go home.
Kikap mkakskakochek. Iko mamio sigum.
That they will wear within them because of the beauty of this place.
Sanma.
And so it was.
And so it was.
Nigita kamksen metone ko yaski mamia kasenan.
I did my part and I smudged the place very thoroughly.
Waskaihan pihtsai koi viittime keep mua sagahtiaan.
This house inside, and I circled it from the outside.
Yktahni wap mau. Metone sune waskaihan ehkan teo piket maimitos.
And it was there that I saw growing beside the house a black poplar. Maimitos.
The name sigitet.
A big one.
Metun mani tahkane piskago merkanegeni tao piket segoge maimitosak.
And these black poplar are noted for growing beside bodies of water.
Mina kispin kan stuhtaman.
And also, if you understand,
Jäisi pikskuitsik.
how it
Tapskusmana
is that they speak, if you understand their language, I guess you could say.
tapskusmana kanas patas taatsikuni pimua.
As an example, when the poplars turn their leaves upside down.
Do you want to play on this?
Teniga ups kagu tahko manipi.
The light-colored part of the leaf is on top.
We're gonna wait. I'll explain to you in 2 seconds.
Ewi tamaski kangi.
They are
Nishon stop.
telling you.
Nishon stopisim.
In 2 or 3 hours.
Nishon sto.
Oh, skip that one. I think you were thinking about the word there for a minute.
Obskuts aya. Hours om. Kata sihtaman. Hours om.
To see the man like.
That I speak of.
Ah.
Like pisim actually means moon. But actually what I am speaking of is hours.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Okay.
clarifying.
Yeah.
Nanto ego.
In about that time.
Atise kagi spaige kakimuan. E peitoetsik.
In about that time when it is over, it will rain, is what they are saying.
Niso te paipisimon ahpon stot paipisimon.
2 hours or in 2 hours or 3 hours.
Pim kagi sipaige ektahan magakimuan.
When that is done, that is when it will rain.
Euge piachi mustachi. E piachi mochigoge.
These are the stories these ones bring.
Ah.
Kauche pihuchik.
These ones who are rooted in the earth.
Wow.
Ikaw, että kap mo pigihat.
Our mother, where she is raising them.
Mina, kika na natawapin.
And also, if you look around,
Piesi sakapo kawapamauk. Tone.
you will see the birds.
E papa moa hoa sakaha sige pimsa soke kuchinse.
Flying in circles and flying very fast.
Mina wista wow. Euge muistamaa koja kuktapuin.
And they, too, are speaking to us and telling us this is true.
Tapuin anma.
This is the truth.
Ahpo minuukin peseskisak.
And even of these hoofed animals.
Me sattimak.
Horses.
Kapamgut skauivak pamueskimonik.
They will be galloping around before it rains.
E muu sihtaatsik, mittu nimane sohki muu sihusik.
For they intuit, they have great intuition.
Yksi suomakawi, mikä kuiskiwe panik.
Of these things when change is imminent.
Gweskiwe pun, like the change in the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Gweskiwe pun, huh? Interesting.
O sam ka ke muak. Tayo ka na ne
When it
petas.
rains,
Sorry, say that again? Because-
because when it rains,
Yeah.
Tayo ka na ne petas te pe nokset.
it is a spirit coming, blowing into view, blowing into sight.
Pie sewak.
Thunders, the thunderbirds.
Ka papim skachek mano mita.
As they fly by here,
Ka iko wak.
when it is cloudy.
Mina ke mua na tayo kan.
And also the spirit of the rain.
Ni piwa tayo kan.
The water spirit.
Ito ni mane pe mi che tao ito chigoke.
They come in great numbers.
Tayo ka nag-eksiso makawi mkagweski mo maga.
These spirit beings, at the time when these changes are occurring,
Magatanse. Iay sigisk siya keuk.
but how is it that we can recall these?
Pohti ewan gisk siya keuguma.
Or do we forget these?
I see some questions. I'll be at your questions. We're just about wrapped up here.
Kigan sto tawaya kugoke.
For us to learn to understand these ones,
Kiwa ko magan nawak.
our relations,
Pises kiwak. Pie sisak.
the
Tayo
animals, the
kanak.
birds, the spirits,
I know, right? Oh my god. I'll be like, so long.
Taps ko tsika kipuhte na mago siya kuma.
it is as if we have had that doorway shut on us.
That word again.
Mi tawagaya.
Our years
Mina.
also,
Ka tako he.
these remain hidden.
Kitski sugum no.
Our eyes,
Igok. Ewanihtayak. Kaski
Insofar-
hoinoma.
as we have lost our abilities,
Say that again.
as insofar as we have lost our abilities
Kiko apahtamak mamahtauki kwe.
to be able to see that which is sacred.
Wow.
Ito ni puguta chiki.
Only from very near
Kape eits na mago siya pa mo eskapo ito kiko ikinakatapahti no.
we would have to have things presented to us very close in order for us to eventually recognize. And very close could also be detailed.
Presented to us very close or detailed in order for us to eventually recognize. Oh, you know what? I was trying to make it to the break in the story, but this goes on a little bit more. So I think we're going to leave it there tonight. I was trying real hard. I thought, oh, but this is amazing stuff. Yeah, because one of the things I love about the way you tell stories is that I'll come to you and I'll say, can you tell me this story? And the story's about this much, but the way that you talk ahead of time about, you're sort of like you're setting up the context for that which you're about to tell. And then you'll tell the story, and then there'll be like a cool down period afterwards where you talk about it a bit more. And it's amazing because for us as learners, there's different levels of language in there, like not just the story and the activities that are happening, but the conceptual stuff. And so tonight's session here, just going through, worked on this very recently, so I have questions fresh in my mind about the way these things, and it's like, I feel like we're so close sometimes as learners. My brain is so close to some of this stuff. But the little details and the way that you are interpreting these things and translating your own words, it's filling in those details very nicely. So what a wonderful session. We're really getting to the good part. We're almost halfway through this story tonight. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Getting back to some of our comments before we shut down. Neil's saying, I remember seeing that word in a syllabics document written in 1906, Tipaipisimwan, for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Tipaipisimwan, yeah.
A measurement of time.
That's what Neil says here. Sounds like a partial measurement of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which would make sense. Donald Omiyasu says, I'm learning a lot here. Innovative says, wow, is that a speaker doing this translation live? You're living a linguist and programmer's dream here. Absolutely. Absolutely. This last year has been nothing short of amazing in all of the things that we've been working on. If you're just tuning in with us, by the way, you can get to these stories through my link in my bio or Facebook or TikTok. And yes, it's been amazing. We had the opportunity to sit down for 4 weeks last year and sit down with Wes, who's with us tonight, and capture stories and just the coalescence of events to come to this place as a language learner, me looking for stories, and Wes also looking for an outlet through which to pour these stories has created this dream team, if you will, where we're continuing this ongoing work of getting into it from my side in terms of transcribing and understanding and bringing in more learners and building capacity and building language and building relationships. And then on the other side, exploring opportunities to find outlets for these, whether it be technology or potentially camps or gatherings that we may have coming up, or different opportunities for people to connect with some of these stories. So this has been a real, it's been a dream, really. This whole thing's been a real dream. Yeah. Innovative says, I was doing similar work for my language, but it is far too gone for me to do at this level. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm based out of West Kelowna, but I operate out of Edmonton often as well, and Wes is in Saskatchewan, so I find myself in Saskatchewan time and again. Yeah, Jamal says, Gweskiwi Pun. That was from that one Gweskiwi Pun, the change in the weather, is what he was talking about there. I think it's a little ways back. I'll have to go back through the story. By the way, we will have these stories available. There it is right there. when the
At times such as these, when change is imminent.
but it's the weather specifically, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me change. I like that. At times such as these, when a change in the weather is imminent. There you go, Jamal. This story is called Gita Tsamona. And if you get onto if you go from our project here, Sweetgrass Stories, to the YouTube channel, and then this is going to be the 8th story on the YouTube channel, Gita Tsamona. So you can go check out those stories there. The transcription, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. The transcription and the translation will be available soon. We'll probably clean things up a little bit, and we'll find a way to publish that probably through my site here, the Keanu Transcribe. We're working on a feature where we can publish these, but we still want to have a login or something so we can make sure they're not being scraped for AI or something like that. So but we'll find a way. But you can go, if you go in right now and play in the database section in there and start searching around under the Plains Cree-wide dialect. If you play around in here, searching and snooping, you can find your way back to these stories right now. Yeah. Oh, yes, and Vince had a question here. Vince was asking, how would you say... Let me get back there. I see your question on YouTube there, Kihu. I'll come to that in just a second. Vince was asking, how would you translate sacred treasured children in Cree? Neil was saying, Ekanata tsakwe tik awasasak, like they have pure spirits.
Yeah, they have pure souls. But what was the thing again? Sacred
treasured children.
Mamahtaw sagihaga nakawasisak.
Mamahtaw sagihaga nakawasasak.
Yeah. That would be the literal translation.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Q Watney says, I was talking to my dad about this, and he says that there's 2 languages happening at the same time. What are your thoughts on this? 2 languages happening at the same time. What do you mean by that, Kihu Watney? I was talking to my dad about this, and he says there's 2 languages happening at the same time. Well, I guess we've got the Cree language and we've got the English language, but that's a part of what we're working on. As learners, we work on the transcription, which is, as opposed to translation, the transcription is just writing down the Cree words to try and build that understanding in our minds. And then Wes is providing us with the English translation, you might say, or interpretation, which for us as learners will, from my perspective, if I try to interpret something, it will be incomplete or inaccurate. And I even think, so Wes's own words will be the most accurate interpretation. Oh, I see. Kihu is saying, I believe it's in terms of the old language and the new language and how they are defined. Oh, this is Vance. Oh, yeah, right on. Do you have any thoughts on that, Wes? Vance and Carl are talking about the difference between the old language in terms of old Cree, older form of the Cree language, and the newer form of the language is what they're asking about.
Mm-hmm. Well, primarily today, the Cree that you use is, or the Cree that you hear and see in use is conversational Cree. And many times it is not as in-depth as it could possibly be. And then there are other levels, for instance, language of ceremony, which is an older form of the language. And then when you get into ceremony and you begin to connect with the spirits, they even begin to speak a more archaic form of the language, a more ancient form, and oftentimes one has to go into a trance-like state in order to be able to understand and communicate with these spirits. So, I mean, there are many different languages. I mean, it's all the same language, but it's different stages of evolution, and it's basically it's still the same. It has the same roots, but through time it has evolved, and the Cree that was spoken 200 years ago, might be difficult to understand in some areas and quite easy to understand in others. But archaic, I mean, the old form, that that can be learned. The archaic form requires a level of spiritual development where you can move freely from one, I will say, dimensional level to another. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think so. And I think in terms of my perspective, like as a learner, we're definitely aware of the influence that English or English thinking has on the language when we as learners are trying to learn to speak in the language. And so we'll hear sometimes about this idea of we're saying something in Cree, but it's very English-like maybe a very literal translation or something like that. So I think there is an influence from that perspective in terms of the language shifting. And that's one of the reasons, or one of the things that I try to do is not do translations, like interpret a little bit, obviously, because we need to know what the language means. But I was asking, I met this lady, and I forget her name. I wish I had had a chance to talk with her more, but this was a couple of weeks ago at a conference, and she was a Chinese lady. She had been in Canada, I think, for 7 or 8 years. She spoke Mandarin, obviously, but her English was really good. But she got up and spoke Cree at the conference, and it was really good. And I remember speaking with her afterwards, and I said, "Okay, I have a question for you. When you learned English, do you feel like there's a separate part of your brain that understands what the English means that doesn't translate back into Mandarin?" And she said, "Yes, absolutely." She said, and I forget the example that she said, like it wasn't frustrated or something. She said, "There's lots of these words in English that have their own meaning, and I understand what they mean in English, but I don't know how to explain them, or they don't have an interpretation in Mandarin." And I'm like, that's exactly what learning Cree feels like for me, is that if I try to stay away from the translations a bit and just focus on inputs and immersion, then the understanding seems to be building like a little Cree brain over here that understands what those things mean sometimes, but I don't know how to put them into English. Anyway, I don't know if that helps at all, Vance. It was just the thing that came to mind. To your answer there, Wes, Vance says, "Thank you, beautiful answer, hi," he says. So yeah, I think language shift is a thing, and but the other thing that came to mind was when we were sitting in Winnipeg together, and we pulled up those old stories. Papahakwan, what was it? Eagle Shield? Papahak. Yeah, when we sit down reading those stories, and I was reading the stories that Eagle Shield had written, and you were interpreting them on the fly. So that to me says, that old language is still here. We can still learn from those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, PSU Papahuan is Thunderbird Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunderbird Shield. That's the one.
Yeah, and in the language, I mean, somehow Papahuan, which is a shield, became Papahuan, which is the same term used for a farmer's chickens.
Yeah.
You see. And so rather than Thunderbird Shield, that family name, they were given the name Chicken. And what cultural connection does that have?
Yeah.
You know, what a way to destroy your sense of past, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What a night. That was really something. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. I really appreciate your questions and everybody coming to hang out. Vince says, I'm so inspired by the old Cree. Yep, tapwe nista. What a beautiful gift. I want to thank everybody. Kakio kitam skat now agapi kakio gapi tagosini kapi witapimi ek witapimtak anuts. Ay mitten in an askomun. Ay wista wak ay kisenu gapen witapmak Wes Fineday. Mitteni I miste in nippen an askoma wista. Ay kapi ay Witsi higo ya kanuts ay kapen koi sapon stota mako at samonsa kape kagi pe asanamago ya. So these stories, I'm grateful to Wes too for coming to sit and help us tonight with these stories that he's passed along to us. Once again, we'll meet up again. Learners, get ready for tomorrow night for your homework. I know some of you are watching. And we'll pick up again next week on Sunday, same time, same place. So hope to see you there. Mio tips kansik akio. We'll see you again next week. Have a great night.